Alright guys, welcome back. Another episode coming at you of the, what is this, Ponch's Paint Booth. I got mixed up. I thought of like every single other show. So, real quick, if you haven't done so already, go to the corner, like, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Multi-Murdy Media. You will get this playlist. You will also get the Gutsy Ass Gamer, which is going to be video games and Twitch, my playthroughs and stuff. I got some new stuff coming up, or actually, I guess, I don't know when this is coming out, so either it is coming or you will have already seen the me starting my playthrough series of Assassin's Creed. That's going to be the Gutsy Ass Gamer. And you also get the video format to the Janky DS podcast, which is almost every Tuesday. And this is on Thursdays. So, now you will also notice, or you're also about to notice, that I got a little bit more creative in my setup. You're going to see me down here in the corner while I'm working because I had the smart idea to just hook up both of my cameras at the same time, or both my webcams actually. So today, what we are working on, going back in the Necron range, and we are working on the Necron Technomancer. Technomancer. It's a little bit shadowed there, but so this is actually one of the so whenever they came out with the new Necron range for 2020, they split the actually let me go back a bit. So the Technomancer is a cryptek, and the idea behind these guys is that they are characters in the game and leaders, but they aren't like the nobility. They're more kind of like they're like the machine version of sorcerers or stuff like that. Like they can all do crazy shit. The whenever Necrons kind of were revamped a few years back for what edition was it? 6th edition now? Yes. No. Yes. Like 6th and 7th. Actually, a little bit before that, they had there were like 5 different crypteks that you could use, and they had like different war gear and stuff like that. And then whenever I think it was 8th edition rolled around, they completely scrapped that, and they just had cryptek that you could take, and there were different relics that you could take with them. And then now with 9th edition, they've kind of separated them off again, but there's only 4 different types, and the they all do different things. But the Technomancer, which is actually kind of like a new type, they're all new, I believe. I think, yeah, they changed them up a bit, but the Technomancer here, their whole thing is basically like healing and reconstructing, fallen or injured stuff. And then also with the Technomancer, there's 2 different types, or there's different war gear they could take. So normally the Technomancer is on foot, it's just a small guy, which I have a couple of those. I'm going to do those up in a later video. But this one has the Canoptek Cloak. And the idea is that he's got this huge backpack thing and cape. And the idea is that he kind of like rides this half a spider looking thing, kind of like a flying disc around the battlefield. And it also lets him repair in-game, among other things. So he's very good, and then even just in general, they're good for bringing back like fallen models, especially warriors. So now for the fancy stuff, you'll see there, got me in the corner right here, and my workspace down here. Let me readjust the lights a little bit, and I'm going to be using the big clamp for this guy, just so I'm not stretching it out too much, and it's not really putting. Actually, I think I could maybe fit this on the smaller clamp, but yeah, as you can see, I would have to like stretch this thing all the way out, and that just puts too much pressure. So this is actually perfect for this type of thing, for that size. So what I'm going to be doing with this is, well, starting on the same steps that I do with all my Necrons, or at least for my dynastic Necrons, because there are some that kind of exist outside, but I haven't gotten to any of those yet. So what that means is that I'm going to be starting off with the main carapace of the body, and that's going to be, I wonder if no, I think this is a better view. The steel gray. Can you? I don't know why that's blurry like that. Actually, you know what? That's what I forgot to do was properties. Where are you at? Configure. Come on. There we go. Turn that up a bit. There it is. Steel gray. It's a little bit better. That's going to go on, as you already know, the feet, part of the legs, the arms, the chest, the face. There are some differences with this guy since he's I should probably actually be down here. Get some of this shit out of the way. You can see some of the other models that I'm working on. I'm actually going to be starting today because I got to get these guys done for a thing. But see, you can't really see it. I wonder. That doesn't really help that much either. Well, you know what? I'll leave the light on. So, as I was saying, feet, hands, arms, legs, chest, and face. What the differences being is that since this guy is more of a character, like a leader, there are so normally, as you saw when I did the Necrons and also kind of the whatchamacallem, or well, the Necrons. Whenever I did the warriors, I don't know what order I'm going to be doing these guys in yet, but so normally, well, the shoulder pads are going to be like that gold color that I've been using, but with this guy, he's got more stuff. So he's also got these hip plates, and then of course the things hanging down or whatever. And I'm also going to be using more of the Canoptek colors, which is like the gray or the black with the blue edging. But we're not going to do that yet. First, we're going to do the steel gray, and then let's see. I don't think there's a lot of busted up detail. Well, yeah, there's some details. So like for the ribs and in the face, you can't really see it that well now, but there's like a mouth and a little recessed area around the eyes. Things like that. We're going to be filling in the cracks with Drakenhof Nightshade. The idea being that we're not doing too much because I want it to mostly be about this flat color. And then, of course, I'm going to be doing like the green highlighting on top of that, and that's going to give us our odd little double effect. So let's go ahead and get started. Alrighty. So not as much time as I thought that was going to take. There's actually... we got some details in there. So that's kind of just like the main blue color that we got going on. And, well, actually, I guess the good thing about it is that there's going to be a lot more detail on this guy just throughout, so... But yeah, like I said, I just kind of put some of the wash in the mouth area so you can actually see it from from here, basically. I know there's got to be like a good focus somewhere. It's as good as it's going to get. And then also the ribs. In there you can see the shading that, or the, what is this? Yeah, shade that I got in there. So what we're going to do for now is let this guy dry off for a bit, and then we will come back soon. Alright, so we've let the main colors dry, and oh shit, I gotta go ahead and, so what we're gonna do is go ahead and finish up the blue sections of the body, and by doing that, and in order to do that, we're not actually using blue, we're gonna be using our scorpion green. And so what this is going to do, yeah, scorpion green. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dry brush that over all the blue sections, and basically what that's going to do is it's going to give us kind of like a green edge and kind of make like a fake color shift effect on the blue sections. So I will do that. Well, let's go ahead and do that first. Alright, so it is kind of hard to see, but we got some green edges going on there. These guys are in the way here. Let's see if that's well, comes up more in real life, and once I do gallery pictures of this guy, you'll see it some more. So now what I actually want to do next is, let's see, clean out some of this, and then leave that to the side. I don't actually want to clean that brush off yet because I got to use it again here. So now what we're going to do is some of the fun stuff, and that is the glowing, the glowing effects basically. So for that, we're going to apply white, and that's going to go into some of the big stuff like these orbs that he's got, kind of like right here in the staff, and then also the two in the back here. I don't think he's got one on the belt. And then also for the spider, that's going to be, or the half spider, I guess. That'll be this big eye here, and then this orb in the middle. And you can also see it on the bottom too, kind of. Or you guys might not be able to, but I'll show you once I get it painted. And then, of course, the actual blades on the staff are also going to be red. Or, yeah, white. And then most of that is going to be done up with our Hex and Wraith Flame. That's going to be the green glow. And then on the staff, I'll be using my Iandin Yellow. And that actually comes out like, it looks like fire. So like if I did this combination on a like a model of fire, it would look perfect, basically. Or almost. It's like a poor man's fire. Very easy to do. And, well, so is this. So, see, I don't need this for now. So let's get into it. Alright. Got some fun stuff done on this guy. Get cleaned up and I'll give you a little bit of a better look. So we got some glowy orbs done. Again, with this light and camera, it doesn't really show up as well as I wanted to, but got some spots in the back here. And then, of course, his staff's all done up. So for now, as always, we'll go ahead and let the scat dry off, and we will come back soon. Alright, finally coming back in, getting some more work done on our Canoptek Technomancer. And I say Canoptek as opposed to the regular ones because this one is equipped with a Canoptek Cloak. So it can fly around and fix shit. Whereas the normal ones are just kind of on foot or whatever. And, I'm not sure if I had this before, but it fits on the bigger handle. So what we're going to do, we're going to work on the internal mechanics. So it's going to be like all the joints, exposed bars, and shit like that. And his spine here that he's got going on. And that is going to be done with rough iron. And yeah, let's just go ahead and do that for now. Ooh, you know what? Also at the same time, I completely missed this, but his big eyeball here needs to be white and done up like the rest of this green stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and do that as well. Get a layer of white on the eye. Get my light on, and let's go ahead and get into it. Okay. Got some metal stuff done. I'll give you a better look here in a second. So you can kind of see we got a little bit of extra color on like his fingers there. Yeah, you should be able to see there. And the joints between his arms. We did the same thing with the spine coming out of his cloak. Down into this half a spider he's got on his base. Actually, I'm pretty sure that is like just that. Well, no, it's close. Anywho, let's put those away. Next thing I want to do real quick, and then we'll get into some washes, is I'm going to go ahead and these rocks that are on his base, I'm going to do those up with ash gray. It's going to be that, and as always with the Necrons, underneath under their ribs, they got some tubings here. Some of them are wires, and some of them are pipes. The pipes I'm also going to do with ash gray. Those are the ribbed pipes. So let's go ahead and do this real quick. Actually, make sure my palette's clean. Let's do this real quick, and then we'll go from there. Got some rocks done. One pipe. And we're going to leave the gray alone for now. But last thing we're going to do today, or for now anyways, I'll go ahead and fill in the eye that I had forgotten about with our Hexwraith Flame. That's going to be the same as all the other green glowy stuff that I have on here. And then all of the surfaces that I did with the rough iron, I'm going to hit with the Agrex Earthshade. It's going to dull it up a little bit and kind of darken up the recesses even more. Not that they really need it that much, but it does kind of help with the texture. So let's go ahead and see what that looks like. Sweet. Just chugging along on this dude. So of course the most noticeable is his eye. His eyeball is done. And then we got just a little bit more going on with the metal textures. Some of these, this bigger one like the spine, I'm going to do some dry brushing work on. But first, we're going to let this guy dry off. And then we will continue when we come back. Are you listening to this show and thinking, man, I'd like to start a podcast, but I don't even know where to start? Well, Buzzsprout has the answers for you. Buzzsprout is a podcast hosting service that provides a number of valuable resources to help you on your podcasting career path. For one, Buzzsprout offers indefinite hosting of all your episodes and allows you to host as much material as you want, depending on the type of subscription that you opt for. Buzzsprout also provides a means for getting your show hosted to every major podcasting platforms such as iTunes, Pandora, Spotify, you name it. In addition, Buzzsprout also provides various means to get your show monetized through various sponsorship and affiliate programs, links to other paid hosting platforms such as Patreon and YouTube, and your own personal newsroom to learn all the tips and tricks for optimizing your podcast for the greatest return on your investment. If you're hearing all this and you're still interested, you can go to my link below and receive an Amazon gift card for starting a podcast hosting subscription that you'll receive on the second billing period of your podcast journey. Everyone has something to share, and there's no time like the present. Join Buzzsprout today. Okay, so our wash is dried off. I know it doesn't look like much, but there's some detail there. So the next thing we want to do, well, first, let's go ahead and clip them back in. So now on some of the elements that I did the rough iron on, I'm going to do a little bit of a true copper dry brush. So that's really just going to be kind of like around the spine here and sort of like in the fingertips and the haft of his staff here. And that's just going to bring a little bit more brighter color to the edges. Not too bright, it's not like full-on gold or anything like that, but it's good. And then I'm going to start working on the Canoptek elements. So that's going to be the spider body that he's riding on down here, and also this extra piece, like this terrain thing that's sort of like a busted vehicle or whatever. And also the shell that he's wearing on top. Yeah, maybe something else. No, just those elements. And what I'm going to do is dry brush with electric blue And what this is going to do is, of course, it's still going to be black pretty much all over. Also make sure to not dig in too hard. But the edges will be this nice bright blue. It'll really stand out. And it'll, in a way that won't really mix in too much with the the skin blue that I've been using here. It'll be different, so it'll be nice and stand out. And then whenever I'm done with all that, I'm also going to take the opportunity to add in a base layer on the base. And that's just going to be our field gray, which is our darker gray, and goes well with the other terrain features that I normally do with these guys. So, starting with the copper, let's get started. Okay, got some nice details down. As you can see, the Canoptek bits are nice and edgy. He's got some highlights going on his cloak shell. Alright, so now, next thing I want to do is start tackling some of the golden stuff, which is going to be, I'm going to start on this, what the hell is this called? His weave next. So he's got these metal cloak pieces that are kind of hanging off the back. As you remember what I did with my, the warden, he had the, getting the hiccups, sorry. He had the half cape off of his arm. And I'm going to do the same thing here. So that is going to consist of adding in a layer of demonic yellow over these bits. That's not the only thing I'm going to do. I am also going to start on the more gold pieces, which is, so for example, like his shoulder pads, well, mainly his shoulder pads, but then, of course, the Canoptek, or this cryptek, he's also got hip plates and this beard thing going on and stuff like that. And those are going to be done. Oh yeah, like a bunch of the surfaces on the staff. That's all going to be done with our Turbo Dork Radium color, which, as you remember, this is a paint that uses like a reflective incident angle technique. So the surfaces that you're seeing directly parallel are going to be more goldish, and then as the angle increases around a surface or whatever, it's more greenish, and then toward like blackish green around the outside. So it'll have a nice effect. Just takes a couple tries, but I'm going to start with throwing my stuff around with the demonic yellow. What is going on here? Sorry. Unrelated. Demonic yellow. Let's do it. Awesome. Sorry, give you a better view here in a second. Now, we got some gold going on our dude here. So you can see basically his whole mantle is pretty much done up with gold. Parts on his staff. And then of course on the cape we got a good start on. But one thing I remember from doing the Warden is this is going to take a few coats. So I'm actually going to finish this off camera. This is going to take a little bit of time. But at least the radium's done. So I can just focus on the yellow. And we'll see, I'll have a nice solid yellow color when I come back. Okay, back, and it is time to finally finish up this guy. So all we have left to do, and well, you'll see that off camera or offline, I went ahead and added in the Reikland Flesh Shade wash to this cloak of his, or weave, I guess you would call it. And so that added in a nice reddish tint into all the crevices here and such. So we got that texture and color. So now, next thing we're going to do is we just have a couple of colors left to add in before we finish up the base. For the weave, what I'm going to do next is dry brush in some bright gold. This is our this is the brightest of the golds that I got. And then on the base, over all this rocks and texture and everything like that, I'm going to dry brush ash gray. That's our light gray. And that'll make all this detail really pop out nice and bright, especially on the mottled rocks there. And then once we're done with that, we can add in some snow and stuff. But first, let's see, let's get our light on, our brush palette, and dry brush. Let's get to it. Okay, so got a little bit of extra shininess on his weave, and we got some detail on the rocks and the ground and all that stuff. But it turns out there is one small thing that I forgot to do, and that is to hit the wires and stuff like that he's got on his body, which fortunately there aren't a whole hell of a lot of them. Really the only spots that I have to worry about. So there's a couple that are sort of down there between the ribs, and also I got to add some wash onto that cable there too. But between this and his sternum piece there's a couple of small wires in there. Those are going to be done up with pure red. And then there's also a couple that, well, you can't really see really well, but from his back plate to his collar piece, there's a couple wires in there, and then also just kind of behind his head as well. So all those are going to be done with pure red. I'll also go ahead and add in a little bit of wash for that one wire. that I missed, and I think I could probably, don't need the dry brush anymore. Probably just do this real quick without even, hopefully. This red's really getting to be a pain in the ass. Because it doesn't seem to want to quite come out properly. And I don't want a huge glob, I just need... Actually, you know what? Let me try. Where is my small detail brush? Here we go. Oh yeah, that's plenty. I just need a little bit of red, and I can fill in some of these areas. Let's get that. Oh, a little bit of a spill. No matter. Got a wire done there. One here. Shit. His hand's in the way. That one's making this one a little bit difficult, but I really... It doesn't have to be perfect. I really just need like an impression of the color. Which I have. I'll show you in a minute once this is done. And then I just have these ones that are behind his head here to do up. Yeah, there we go. Hardly even worth it. Okay. So we get this cleaned up now. This one's starting to come apart. I might have to replace this one soon too. Just don't use details as much. There we go. Gonna need to do some eyeballs pretty soon here, so I want that one to be good and running. And now I just need just a little tiny bit of the black wash here. Right, okay, a little bit more than that, I guess. It doesn't really do a whole hell of a lot, but you can see at least a little bit more of the detail there. And it doesn't just look like this bright gray thing sticking out. There you go. So you can barely even see them, but got a couple wires done kind of underneath in his stomach. There we go. And then right there behind his head, and these two up here that are kind of in between his back and his collar. Let's put this away, and now all we have left to do is the last fun bit. Let's add some snow, as I've been doing with all my Necrons. And you already know the process. I just open this up, scoop out a bunch. I've been using a lot of this stuff. Hell yeah. And we just get it all over in the areas that don't have rocks on them. And I definitely want a little bit of a spill, especially over these areas that have the like the construct sticking out of the base. It's like an old piece of like busted up Canoptek stuff. Yeah, so we just get some snow all over here. Yeah. Nice big lump on this side. And come around to the back. A bit more there. Just get it all over these rocks, I guess. Oh yeah. And then we just have this whole center area to do up, and I think I'm gonna have to go in with the smaller brush because this one is getting a little bit frayed on me. Oh, yeah. So going with my normal paintbrush, and I can just get a little bit more snow and really get into this like center area. Without these arms on the half spider here taking the snow off my brush before I even get it into the right spot. We're almost done. I really gotta push this stuff in there. So I don't want to do too hard because otherwise it's gonna screw up my brush here. So I'm trying to just like go in, drop the snow texture or any texture that I'm using, and then pull it back out. But sometimes bullshit's just unavoidable. Like here, for instance. There we go. Now we got a nice layer of snow on this guy's base. Don't need this anymore. And we are finally done with the Canoptek Cloak Technomancer. Yeah. I like him. Anyway. Got a nice cloak. He's got his buddy that he's regenerating here. Kind of. Ooh, whoops. Big old glowing staff, and he's ready to go. Ready to be very annoying in game. So, that was another episode of the Ponchos Paint Booth with the Canoptek Technomancer. All done. And while this episode might be done, I got plenty more on the way. So if you haven't done so already, as I've been saying, go to the corner, like, subscribe to Multi-Murdy Media. That's the YouTube channel you're watching here. You get this playlist, as well as a few others. And if you check the show notes, or you just stay tuned to the end of the episode here, you'll get the link to my website, multimurdymedia.com, as well as Instagram and Facebook, and we're also on TikTok. I drop some stuff on there every once in a while. Just check it out. The website also has the model gallery where you will see this guy pretty soon. Actually, probably before this even comes out, he'll be up there. And many more. So, keep watching. Keep enjoying. Maybe you'll get some tips and tricks out of this. Maybe you get some inspiration for your own models. Who knows? But either way, we'll see you again very soon.